My friend, we have come a long way together, from dusty footsteps in the wheat fields, where the disciples plucked grain because they were hungry, to the story of King David eating the consecrated bread in desperation, to the suffocating tension inside the synagogue and the command, "Stretch out your hand," and finally, to the miracle of a hand restored. All of these stories, all of these conflicts, are not just scenes from history. They are pieces of a single answer to one question, a question that, in this final part, I want to place directly into your heart. Which law are you living your life by? Are you living by the law of fear, pressure, and performance? Or are you living by the law of life, freedom, and love? Today, we will no longer talk about the Pharisees. They belong to the past. Today, we will talk about you, about how to carry the spirit of the true Sabbath into every breath of modern life. You might say, I don't follow any religious laws. I'm not afraid of the Sabbath. That's true. We are not living in first-century Judea. There are no priests counting our steps, but we are living under the rule of other invisible masters. False Sabbaths far more demanding than the old ones. See if you recognize these laws. 1. The law of productivity. This law says, rest is a sin. If you're not working, you're useless. It forces you to check emails at midnight. It makes you feel anxious and guilty for doing nothing on the weekend. It turns you into a machine that is never allowed to power down. 2. The law of perfection. This law says, you are not allowed to make mistakes. Everything must be flawless. Just as the Pharisees scrutinized every grain of wheat, this law inspects every crack in your life. It keeps you from starting because you fear failure. It keeps you silent because you fear judgment. 3. The law of strength. This law says, don't cry, don't complain, just toughen up. It forces you to hide your withered hand. It teaches you to wear a smiling mask, even when you are breaking inside. These laws are not written in Scripture, yet we obey them with religious devotion. We fear breaking them. We fear being stoned by society if we go against them. And the result? A society full of successful people who are exhausted, full of endless online connections, yet deeply lonely, full of hands that look healthy on the outside, but are withered on the inside. So what is Jesus actually inviting us into? He is inviting us into the true Sabbath. But remember, God's Sabbath is not simply stopping work. If you lie in bed all day while your mind is still anxious, still calculating, still beating yourself up, that is not Sabbath. That is just anxious laziness. The Sabbath Jesus establishes when he declares that the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath is a state of trust. True rest is an act of faith. When you dare to stop in a world that never stops running, you are making a bold declaration. The world will keep turning even if I don't push it. God is still at work even when I sleep. That is the deepest kind of liberation. You are not Atlas holding up the sky. You are a child who is allowed to fall asleep in the arms of a loving Father. Sabbath is the moment you loosen your grip on the steering wheel and trust that the car of your life will not plunge into the abyss because there is a far greater driver already at the wheel. When the man with the withered hand was healed, he gained physical freedom. But Jesus wants to take us further than that. Inner freedom. What is inner freedom? It is when you can still hear the voices of judgment from the world, like the voices of the Pharisees. But those voices no longer control your emotions or your sense of worth. They say, why don't you work overtime? You're so lazy. You smile and answer inside your heart, because I know my limits and I honor my life. They say, why would you forgive that person? You're so weak. You respond with calm clarity. Because I choose to do good. I choose to save life rather than feed hatred. When you live by the law of life that Jesus taught, you become difficult to manipulate. You stop chasing the crowd's approval. You carry a compass within your conscience. A conscience that has been healed and illuminated by love. That is the moment you become Lord of the Sabbath in your own life. You take ownership of your time. You take ownership of your emotions. They no longer rule you. You rule them. So how do we carry this spirit into Monday, Tuesday, and the rest of the week? You don't have to wait for a holy day. You can create Sabbath moments today. 1. Allow yourself to eat when you are hungry. The lesson from the wheat fields. When your body signals exhaustion, listen to it. Don't force yourself through a 5th cup of coffee just to push on. Take a 15-minute nap. Go for a walk. Respect your basic needs. This is not self-indulgence. It is maintaining the temple of God. 2. Put people before rules. The lesson from the synagogue. When you are racing against a deadline and a friend calls in tears, pause. Answer the call. Choose to do good. Work can wait a little. Human connection is sacred. Do not let procedures turn you into someone indifferent. 3. Dare to stretch out your hand. The lesson from healing. When you are struggling, let go of pride. Say, I need help. I am hurting. When you make a mistake, say, I'm sorry. Every time you dare to be real, to expose your imperfection, you are practicing Sabbath. You are declaring that you are human and that you need grace. My friend, throughout these 8 parts, we have spoken a great deal about law. But the most beautiful thing about the gospel of Jesus is this. It does not end with a new commandment. Jesus does not say, from now on, you must rest. If you don't, I will punish you. If he did, rest itself would become just another burden. Instead, he ends with an invitation. In the Gospel of Matthew 11:28, right after the debates about the Sabbath, Jesus speaks these famous words, Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. He is not inviting you into a new religion. He is inviting you into a relationship. He knows how exhausted you are from trying to prove yourself. He knows how heavy your shoulders have become under the weight of the world's expectations. And he says, Enough. That's enough now. Put that burden down here. Learn from me. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Our journey comes to an end here, but your own journey is only just beginning. The wheat fields are still there. The synagogue is still there. Choices are still being made every single day. But from today on, I hope you will walk with a different posture of the heart, a posture no longer ruled by fear, a posture grounded in the knowledge that you are loved unconditionally, not because of how much you achieve, not because of how productive you are, a posture that dares to stretch out its hand and receive life. Take a deep breath, draw the peace of God into your chest, and as you breathe out, release every invisible pressure weighing you down. You are free. You are healed. You are the beloved child of the one who is Lord of every Sabbath. May the peace that surpasses all understanding guard your heart and your mind now and forever. Thank you for listening.